What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. NFL DFS video. We are breaking down NFL Week 7 main slate. So what we're going to do is, if you're new to the channel, we do this every single week. So we're going to take all of the information that we've put out this week. We're going to use our matchup tool. We're going to use Vegas odds. We are going to use SaberSim, and we're going to get where we want to get for this week. So we're going to give you a breakdown of who we like this week, where we're going to go with it. We're going to build some lineups at the end of the video for you as well. So if you're new to the channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment on this video, because we have a giveaway. Every single one of these videos, we have a giveaway. You got to like the video, be a YouTube subscriber, and leave a comment for the comment picker to pick you up. If this video gets at least 50 likes, you have a chance to win a free week of FTA Plus, which is a week of all content that we have. If this video gets at least 100 likes, you have a chance at a monthly pass. 150 likes, a yearly pass, which is a $200 value. 200 or more likes on this video, a chance at a lifetime pass worth $500. So last week's video, we had 54 likes. So someone is going to win a free week this week. On top of that, we had a keyword that we put in here, and you got to listen for it. And if you type that in, you have a chance to win a free week as well. So you technically, the same person could win both times. So we're going to see who the giveaway is first. So this is just a giveaway for hitting 50 likes. If the keyword is here, we're still going to re-roll it again for everybody else. So Cool Breeze 954, I'm winning the milli this week on both sites. I hope you did. But if not, you did win a free week. So all you got to do is, if you see this video, like it, leave a comment that you saw it, and then email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. That's dfshelp1@gmail.com. And let me know if you have a username on the website. If you do not, let me know a username and email you would like, and we will get you set up for a free week of FTA Plus. Now, he did not use the keyword in this one, so we're going to re-roll it. The keyword last week was pineapple. So we're going to re-roll it, and we are going to see until we get it. There we go, LG5295. Congratulations. Email me to let me know you saw it, and we will get you a free week on your subscription. So it's easy as that. You can win every single week, everybody. So you got to make sure you come back, hit the bell notification, and that's that. So at the end of this video, I'm going to give you guys the top stacks video that we've already put out there and our positional rankings for the week. So if you have not already checked that out, you can check that out right here. All of them are on the website, but they're on the video as well. We've broken it down for you. If you like it, please hit us up. Let's have some fun this week. So it's a 10-game main slate. We've got a Sunday morning game. We've got a Sunday night football game, and then we've got 2 Monday night football games. So we've got a lot, but we do have a 10-game main slate that we are going to discuss right here. Like I said, we're going to go on DraftKings. We're going to go through, and we're just going to build one for you guys. So we're going to go 10-game main slate. For the video, I'll just do 25 cents. Or you can do, I guess, those are Discord onlys. So classic 10-game main slate Sunday at noon is what we're going to do. We're going to use SaberSim. I do not have a partnership with them. I do not have a promo code or referral code, anything like that right now. But we're still going to show you what we like about it. So make sure you like this video. If you could watch the entirety or just have it play in the background, the longer watch times help out the algorithm a lot. And leaving a comment helps out as well. So we give a ton of free information away. If you want to check us out, FantasyTeamAdvisors.com is that site. FTA Plus, it's $10 for a week or $30 for a month. Go give us a try. $10. If you don't like it, you don't have to subscribe again, but it would help out the channel. And let's rock and roll. So what we're going to do is we are going to use our matchup tool, Vegas odds, everything. We're going to use all of that today at our disposal. We're going to use our rankings. We're going to use it all. So that is what we're very excited about. We're not going to be able to do we don't want to do the Jacksonville and Patriots. We're not going to use that. So over-unders, we can look at. The actual highest over-under on the week right now is Washington versus Carolina. It opened up as a 41 over-under. It is currently 51.5. This is Friday. The current line is -8. So it started at -3 Washington. It's gone up to -8 Robinson Jr. seems like he's trending in the right direction, which kind of stinks because I really, really liked Eckler this week. So we're still going to use it. We're still going to bump up the plays at each position, and we're still going to find these games that we really want to target and go through. So what I do first is I go out to SaberSim. I come down, and we're just going to go position by position. What we're going to do is we're going to do settings. We're going to make sure the stack's correct, and then we're going to sim it and go in that direction. So we're going to simulate the games into what we're playing, and it will hopefully give you a nice little build out there, and that's kind of what we're looking for. All right, so I'm going to go down here and I don't want the algorithm's pretty good what it does, but these are ones I'm not playing. I'm not playing Levis. I'm not playing Deshaun Watson. I'm not playing O'Connell. I'll put Andy Dalton in there to see if it's there. Tyler Huntley, just because Indy's defense is so bad. Daniel Jones will be playing from behind. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to bump it up a little bit. Obviously, it loves Jaden Daniels. I love Jaden Daniels. I'm going to bump him up to 25. Josh Allen should have us targets back. He does have Amari Cooper playing for him this week, as long as DraftKings doesn't say, oh, his points aren't going to be accumulated, which I have not seen yet. So let's see. Amari Cooper, Buffalo. Yeah, so he looks good. He's still 5,800 in this offense. I absolutely love that. In a stack, I would take it. Make sure that SaberSim is updated with him in that role for Buffalo. Amari Cooper, Buffalo, perfect. That's exactly what we want to see. So I love Josh Allen, even if I didn't love him as much. You love him even more now. He's got more targets to throw to. James Cook sounds like he will be back. Jalen Hurts is the one that I just don't know about. I'm still going to put 19.50 on him. Cousins, I like this matchup against Seattle. I'm going to put him up at 20. I'm going to bump him up. Mahomes against San Francisco. I don't trust Mahomes as much. I'm going to put in Jordan Love up there. Geno Smith against Atlanta's defense, just going to bump him up a little bit, so I want him up. Anthony Richardson, I do not trust this dude. I'm going to bump him down. I don't trust him as enough. I don't know why they're loving him so much. Jared Goff, I do like him at 18. So we're going to run into the running back situation using our matchup tool, which you can find under the NFL tab and under the Bacon Station. If you look at running backs, the Commanders have the best matchup of all running backs this week on DraftKings and on FanDuel. So, Panthers they're ranked 32 out of 32 against the running back. They give up an average of 34.9 fantasy points per game to the running back position. So, Brian Robinson, Austin Eckler, and Jeremy McNichols. So, looking at Robinson, unfortunately, it sounds like he's going to be good to go, which is unfortunate because I really liked Eckler. But, yeah, he's trending in the right direction, on track for questionable designation with Quinn saying no decision has been made. So if he is out, I love Eckler even more. But I'm going to give Brian Robinson a boost and Eckler a boost. I did forget to mention, these videos are all sponsored by Outlier.Bet. If you haven't checked them out yet, the link to sign up is down below. You can check it out, get a 7-day free trial for both packages. If you sign up for the regular package through our link, we're going to give you a free month on top of a month of Outlier that you're going to get. If you sign up for the Pro package, you're going to get a Pro package from them and a 3-month package worth $90 from us. So make sure you check out Outlier.Bet today. So looking at this, I'm going to give a bump. So Robinson is there. Projection-wise, let's just say he's confirmed so they know. Let's say we put him at 15, okay? And I put Eckler at 16 because on DraftKings you're getting extra points for PPR. McNichols, I do not trust him as enough. So if you look at this, like Brian Robinson, if you look at the matchup, overall wise, points allowed per game, Carolina's given up. They're dead last in points allowed per game. They're 30th against rushing defense, 23rd in passing against the quarterback. So Jaden Daniels, complete Jaden Daniels stack with the running back, I would take that any given Sunday. So we've got that. We've got a bump up there. If we look at this, Buffalo Bills give up the second most amount of fantasy points to the opposing running back. Again, though, that Kamara game was huge. But if we look at Buffalo and we look at Tennessee's running backs, you got Tony Pollard, Tajay. So Spears is out, which is good for Pollard. So if we look at that, let's take Tennessee running back. So Spears about Chestnut's there. I'm not trusting Julius Chestnut. It's Pollard. And he's got 3 touchdowns, back-to-back games with a touchdown. He's involved in the passing game, which you get a plus boost here. If you look at the matchup, they're really good against total defense, but rushing per game, you can see that they give up a ton. So and you don't trust Will Levis, so I do like Pollard. I'm bumping Pollard up. Pollard's going to be up 20. I'm going to get him up towards the top as well. The next one is New England, but we cannot play them. Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders. So if we find out the Raiders, they're going Rams, Kyron Williams is going to get that boost. So if we look at that and we look at the Rams against Las Vegas, you got Corum, who's not really done anything. It's Kyron Williams' game. It's his team. He's got 7 touchdowns. He's got a touchdown in every single game he's played this year. Did not play in week 6. Obviously, they were out. It was a bye week. He had 2 touchdowns. It's against San Francisco. He has a receiving touchdown as well. I love this matchup for him. I love Kyron Williams this week. So I'm going to give a boost up to Kyron Williams. I'm going to put him at 23. Next we're going to do is the Rams on the flip side of that. So it depends, but you could look at the Raiders. Now you can see there's a huge discrepancy. Rams are a 9-point favorites almost, implied team total-wise so far. Now these can change. I'm having to film this on Friday because I will be out at a wedding all day Saturday. I'm in a wedding. So you'll have to I won't be able to update this if certain players are in or out. That's the problem. So we look at this. We look at the Raiders running backs in this same game. We're going to go on the flip side. Madison, if White is out, I love Madison even more. He's got a groin, but he's got a groin. Everyone's got a groin. He's got a groin injury, but you got Madison coming in, 158 yards, 4 touchdowns. Pretty good last game against Pittsburgh, and their defense is pretty good. He had a rushing touchdown there, and he still had 32 yards in the air. He's involved in this game. It just depends. And he's a cheaper option at 5,500. So if you look overall at 5,500, at running back, like Barkley's 8,200. So you're saving quite a bit of money. So he's only at a 10. I'm going to bump him up to 11 because I just want the algorithm to get him just a little bit there. Then we look at Cardinals defense. They're ranked 23rd against the running back. They give up an average of 25.9 fantasy points per game, which brings us to the Chargers, which brings us to that's Monday night, isn't it? Yeah, we can't play that. Colts is next, which would be Dolphins, but the problem with the Dolphins is we don't know where they're going to go. We have absolutely no idea where they're going to go with the run. That's what scares me a little bit. I am going to bump up Barkley. I do have him as the number 1 running back this week. And he's going against his former team at his former home base, which you got to love that situation there. I'm going to bump up Robinson to 20 as well. Hubbard, I'm going to bump him up to 19. So there we've got out of the way the running backs, move to the wide receivers and the ones we want to look at. So the Minnesota Vikings give up the most amount of fantasy points to the opposing wide receivers, which gives us the Detroit Lions, which gives us a ton of options that they can throw to. In this game with the Detroit Lions and Vikings, it's currently 50.5. It's the third highest priced or highest over-under game now. Vikings are actually a 1.5 point favorite. So if they go up big, Jared Goff might have to. I don't know if they're going to go up big, but if the game script plays true, Jared Goff might be having to throw the ball up a ton. And I love the matchup here. So Amon-Ra St. Brown is up there. He's got a great matchup, which I am looking at. I'm going to bump his projection up to 21. Justin Jefferson in that same game, I love him even more. I'm going to put him at 22. Okay, so we've obviously got Jamar Chase. Cleveland's defense is pretty good, but yeah, we're going to build around this. Looking at this side, Baltimore and Tampa Bay would be next, but they are Monday night. Detroit Lions are next. Detroit Lions are 29th out of 32. They give up an average of 45.4 fantasy points per game, which jumps Justin Jefferson up there. But I also want the algorithm to get a little bit of Addison. I want a little bit of Jordan Addison here. I want to put him at 12, and I want to put Naylor here as well. I'm going to put him up at 7. I just want to get him a little bit of love in this game that could prove what we need out of him. So, looking at the next one, Washington Commanders rank 28 out of 32. They give up an average of 41.3 fantasy points per game. So that's Carolina. The only problem is it depends on who's going to be there. So Deontay Johnson or, let's see. So if we go here and we go Carolina, he's got that questionable tag. Played through an ankle injury the past 2 weeks, but now listed with a hamstring and rib injuries as well. So if he is in, I do like him, but it's a big but. I don't know if he's going to be in. We're going to give him a boost up to 15. And then Xavier would be even bigger. I'm going to put him at 14. It would be even bigger boost for Xavier and Jonathan Mingo if Deontay Johnson is finally ruled out after this video goes live. So just kind of pay attention to that. It is being filmed at 2 p.m. on Friday, the 18th. But yeah, everything on the website will be updated, so do not worry about that. Then we get down to the Eagles. So Eagles defense gives up a boost to the Giants offensive players. So Eagles give up, they're ranked 26th out of 32. They give up 37.9 fantasy points per game. So that's Malik Neighbors. So I want to get some exposure to Malik Neighbors and Wan'Dale Robinson. So Neighbors, groin concussion, doesn't have an injury designation. He has not played since week 4. And you can see he was the number 1 wide receiver through the first 4 weeks until he did get injured. So looking at all of that, I love this situation for him. As long as he's 100% healthy and he doesn't get hit in the head again, I love some Malik Neighbors here. I'm going to boost him up to 18. I want some Neighbors in my neighborhood. So then next up is Indianapolis Colts. They are ranked 25th out of 26. They give up an average of 37.5. The problem, and normally I'd be like, oh, this is great. This is a fantastic matchup. But it's Miami. It's still Huntley throwing to Tyreek Hill. That's what's unfortunate. Tyreek Hill, obviously, I'm going to bump him up to 15. I'm going to bump Jalen Waddle up to 14. I want to get them a little bit of exposure, but the problem is their quarterback situation is not ideal for them. And then we get a bump over here to Seattle. So Atlanta gives up an average of 37.1 fantasy points per game to the opposing wide receiver. They're ranked 22nd out of 32. That's DK Metcalf, JSN. So JSN has supplemented Tyler Lockett for one of our favorite ones. So we're going to bump him up to 15. We're going to bump up JSN to 14 and get them involved in that game as well. So then, let's move to the tight end position this weekend. My number 1 favorite one this week is George Kittle. He's averaging 57 yards and a touchdown in every single game. If we go to the tight end spot and we look at Kittle, what you can see, averaging 17.3 fantasy points per game. He has a touchdown in all but 1 week. He had 2 touchdowns last week against Seattle. 50. So he's not getting the 100 yards. He's still getting the touchdowns, though. He still has a 283 yards, averaging 17.3. He's averaging 56.6 yards per game, which we absolutely want to see. So I love George Kittle in this Super Bowl rematch. I've got him as the number 1 tight end this week, so I'm going to bump him up to 17. Looking at other tight ends. And Kansas City gives up the most amount of fantasy points to the opposing tight end, 18.6. They've given up, they're ranked 11 in the red zone as a defense, the Chiefs are. They've given up 37 receptions, 409 yards, 2 opposing touchdowns, or 2 opposing tight ends. They give them 2 touchdowns, and they have given up 1 100-yard game to opposing tight ends. So great matchup for George Kittle. I've got him number 1 here. Number 2 comes to the Raiders, Brock Bowers, who Brock Bowers is so Kittle's the number 1 ranked tight end for the first 6 weeks. Brock Bowers, he's ranked number 2. I've got him. I'm putting him at 16 as well. Next up would be Dalton Schultz. Green Bay gives up, they're ranked 30th. They give up 13.8 fantasy points per game. So we look at Dalton Schultz. I'm going to put him at 11. And then if we look at what Dalton Schultz has done this year so far, he's only 4,200. He's got a great matchup here. Hasn't done a ton. So this is more of those one-offs if you are, going around stacks and stuff like that. So we'll go through there. And I do want to give a bump up to Terry McLaurin. I want to give a bump into this game for Washington. So McLaurin is here at 16. He is going to be bumped up to 18. I do want to get into there. Other tight ends that we're looking at here, depending, Kyle Pitts makes a little bit of sense. So Kyle Pitts is down here. I'm going to at least get him up to 10. And then if we look at, technically you could go, if we go to Miami. Where's Miami? There they are. Smith, Jonnu, Smythe. I mean, there's not much going on for Miami, though. Does have a couple of double-digit games. No touchdowns this year, 14 reception, 140 yards. It's the problem is his quarterback. His quarterback's a little bit of a problem there. So the tight end has really been just a pitfall overall. I will give a boost to Zach Ertz, though. I want to get him up to 12. I do want to bump Zach Ertz up to 12. Then we move to the defense. There's certain defenses we want, and there's certain defenses we do not want. I do not want the Titans defense. I do not want the Chiefs defense, or the Raiders, or the Panthers. I will keep in Dolphins because I just do not trust Anthony Richardson whatsoever. Lions defense scares me a little bit with Aiden Hutchinson also being out. Scares me. I'm probably going to take the Lions defense out. I am going to give a boost to the Bengals defense just because of how bad Deshaun Watson is. And then I'm going to give a boost to put 9 there. Rams defense is perfect. Commanders defense is good. Colts defense, it just depends. But yeah, I'm going to leave the defenses alone outside of that. I don't want them. I will leave the rest of these here just in case. So that being said, we are on SaberSim, and you know that. And if you're still listening, the keyword for this week to try to win is wedding. Wedding is the keyword. So I am into SaberSim, Main Slate. I've switched to the old SaberSim just so you guys can see what I'm doing. Number of lineups, I'm going to do 5,000 because you can do 5,000 with this. I'm going to do GPP style. We're going to do entrance of 10 to 50,000. I want correlation of 7. I want sim diversity of 8. Lineup rules. This is where we're going to make some rules. So if we look at what our advanced stack was, this is saved from last week. You've got, or not advanced stack. You've got stack 3 players. So what I like is the quarterback with at least 2 of his players. So I'm going to change this to QB plus 2, save that rule, and I'm going to add that here. And then contest simulations. One of our subscribers, Alabama Jones, let me know he uses this as well. I'm going to put this because it's going to be every week. So he says, SaberSim tip, when you're in the contest simulation settings, if the contest is under $4, set it to low stakes, 20 max, or MM. So low stakes, 20 max. Yep. Okay, so the return on an investment is different when we do this. So we save that setting, and we're going to build some lineups. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this video and let the 5,000 run, and then we'll see the simulations, and then we'll get back to it. So I will be right back. All right, it has run through, and it is good to go, and it is showing that it absolutely loves a Washington stack, which I absolutely love as well. I love this lineup here. It's almost every player that we have, except for DeAndre Hopkins. it looks like a fantastic lineup that I'm going to be playing. So Jaden Daniels thrown to McLaren and thrown to Zach Ertz. It's got Pollard in there, who's got a great matchup here, and Spears being out. He should be that workhorse regardless. It's got Barkley, who going against his former team. I love that matchup for him. It's been a minute. It's been a couple of down weeks, but I do like that there. DeAndre Hopkins is one where, maybe we can swap him out, but it just depends. You've got Xavier there, especially if Deontay Johnson is out. I love that matchup there. David Njoku, because maybe, get some dump-off passes in that terrible offense there. Zach Ertz, we love to see Zach Ertz. And then you got the Rams against Las Vegas. So I do like that. That is one lineup that I like stack-wise. And you can see it likes return on investment. You've got 147%. You've got a win rate of 0.97. I mean, these are great odds. These are some of the best odds I've seen this since we've been starting doing this stuff. And don't forget, at the end of this video, I will have linked all of the content that we have for this week, so make sure you check that out. So if there's certain other games you want to look at, you can go through here. We can find a player, maybe Jared Goff. So let's see a Jared Goff stack. Let's see what it's like. So it's got Jared Goff. It's got Kyron Williams, who has a great matchup. It has Tony Pollard still. Jared Goff throwing to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jalen Waddle is in there. Juju Smith-Schuster, just because, Rashee Rice is out. Still the Rams defense. Zach Ertz and Jeremy McNichols. Maybe he comes through, and McNichols, a cheap option at $4,400 for your flex spot there. Another one here, you've got Jared Goff thrown to Amon-Ra St. Brown and Laporta. You've got Ertz as well. You've got Hubbard, which we do like. We didn't really talk about him, but I do like. Tony Pollard, the Rams defense as well. So the simulations are absolutely loving Tony Pollard here. If we look at what how many lineups he's in, Tony Pollard's here. $39 lineups. 39 lineups. They're liking him. I think I kind of want to follow this sports betting wise and get in there for him as a touchdown as well. So I do like that. So we'll look at that. And so Jared Goff is there. You got Jared Goff here as well. Amon-Ra St. Brown, if you want to look at it, he's got the Amon-Ra St. Brown there as well. So that'd be a stack number 2 that I would be looking at for sure. So if there are other ones you want to look at and you want to go through, so we don't want to go Jared Goff. We want to go, so we've done Jared Goff, we've done Jaden Daniels. Kind of the ones that you're looking at, I do not mind. I don't mind Josh Allen either. He's going to have Amari Cooper there. And you can see this first one, it is not stacked with anybody, which I don't really get. Not really sure why. But then you've got him stacked with Amari Cooper. You got Colby Parkinson, who's got a great matchup. The Bengals against Cleveland. I love that matchup there. It's loving DeAndre Hopkins. Maybe we'll go through and jump that down a little bit. But you got Malik Neighbors in there. You got Chuba Hubbard. You got Tony Pollard. I like this lineup as well. So there are different lineups we're going to build. These are just some of them to build around to help you guys out. So the games that we do want to stack and look at. So in summary, looking at the games I want exposure to, Washington at Carolina, Atlanta at Seattle. So if we look at Atlanta, let's look at, so Atlanta-Seattle has the second highest over-under at 51, with Atlanta only being a 3-point favorite. So it could be a shootout there. So Kirk Cousins, got him thrown to Ray McLeod and Drake London. You've got McLaren and Ertz. Great matchups there. You got the Packers defense, which you could change up a little bit. You got Kittle, who's number 1. Pollard's in there. Hubbard is in there. I like that matchup. Then you've got Cousins throwing it to Kyle Pitts and Darnell Mooney. Pollard, Barkley, Bengals defense, Zach Ertz, another one, a fantastic. These are what I'm talking about. So if you make multiple lineups, if this is what you do for DFS, I love these matchups here for you. So I want exposure to those games. If you want to see the top 5 stacks that we have for this week, that it will be here at the end of this video, along with the positional rankings as well. So make sure to check it out. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over a couple of the bets that we like for this week. And we are going to use Outlier.Bet to find those bets right now. All right, so let's find some bets that we like using Outlier.Bet. You can find all of these here. NBA starts next week. We're very, very excited. But what we're going to do is I am going to change this to NFL. You can see the insights. These are all in our Discord as well. But we're going to go to props. So this is what I like. And you can add them to your bet slip, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that and where to go with that as well. So we're going to go with a couple of quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield. Now, this is a Monday night play, obviously, but you can still put it here. Monday night proposition passing yards is what I'm going to look at. So you can go through, you can go passing completions, receiving. So I'm going to go passing yards. Filter that. Looking at his passing yards of 260.5. So we go here. You can't find that line. So maybe not all the lines are out yet. So it's only open because it's a Monday night game. So we can't use it here because we don't use price picks here. But what I would do is if I am taking Baker Mayfield, once the lines come out for FanDuel or DraftKings, I am taking Baker Mayfield over 258.5 passing yards is what I would go with there. So Baker Mayfield is out. Drake May making his second start over in London. It is an away game, so I'm looking at him for the over. So you go to alt lines, you go to over 199.5 or over 201.5. I like over 201.5. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to add that to my picks. Now, is that available on FanDuel or DraftKings yet? It is available on DraftKings or FanDuel. Is it available on DraftKings? It is not available on DraftKings yet. So this is one we can definitely look at. For some reason, the books, sometimes they don't allow these this early, I guess. I really don't know why. It's kind of dumb how some of them are. So that's Drake May. What I'm going to do now is we're going to look at a couple of the running back players. So we're going to look, we're going to look at Pollard because, again, we love him in this matchup, and he was in almost every single one of the lineups that we wanted to look at. So we've got him for rushing yards. So I'm looking at Tony Pollard rushing yards. I'm going to look at, so under 64.5. So what we're going to do is I don't want under. Life's too short to play the unders. So what we're going to do is we're going to do alt lines, and we're going to find it. 62.5 is where I want to look at. So I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over 63.5. So it's gone up there. I do think he hits over that. I love this matchup for him. So Tony Pollard over 63.5 yards. I'm going to add that to my bet slip right down here. So that's one. Another one, Joe Mixon. So looking at Joe Mixon this week, over 62.5 is the current line. I want to see, let's go, 62.5 is minus 119. If we go over 59.5, so we get 60 plus out of him, minus 136. Or over 62.5 minus 119. I'll go, you know what? Let's go 119. We'll get a little bit better odds. We'll add that to our slip as well. This one, I'm a little bit kind of wait some news, but Achan, he is clearly the number one running back in this offense. And if the quarterback is terrible, we will definitely be looking at that. So I'm going to take the over, and I'm going to look at 44.5 or 45. Okay. I'm going to go over 45.5 at minus 110. So I'm going to take minus 110 over 45.5. I think you could easily get 50 plus here. I'm going to add that to my picks as well. So then we take a look at some of the players here and some of the yardage. So what we're going to do is I'm going to look at Juju Smith-Schuster. He's got that questionable tag, but I do think he plays. I'm looking at under 40.5, but I'm going to take the over. So this is just how to get in here. And then what I love, we didn't talk about on Outlier, is you can see what they've hit. So alt lines, I'm going to do over 42.5. It's minus 110. And then you go through here. He had 130 yards last week, did nothing there. Has had a couple of them. They're just really small for the matchup that he has, especially since Rice is actually going to be out. So I do love that there. I also love, I would look at these, and if we go back to the player, Kittle's the number one tight end, and number one this week's got a great matchup for him. I'm looking over his yardage. So over 55.5 receiving yards. I think we can bring it down a little bit. So instead of 55.5, I think we could bring it down to over 49.5. So I think he's going to get 50 plus here. And I think this is a great matchup for him to add to your picks. So we've got 6 there. We've got 6 different bets. And what you can see is it's at your bet slip here. Only 2 of the 6 can be played on FanDuel. 4 of the 6 can be played on DraftKings, which is the best odds. So we take out that. We take out that. So you've got all of these. You could parlay these together. But the problem is usually when we've seen them, it's been about 1 or 2 that have not hit. So I would take these all as single bets this week. So again, what you can do is you can add it to your bet slip, and then you go out to add your bet slip. It'll take you out to DraftKings, FanDuel, whichever site you're on. It'll take you out there and have you sign in and build from there. So a lot of things that we've gone over. We've gone over DFS. We've gone over bets that we like this week. These are just some of the bets. If you want to see other bets that we like, I'm going to be doing a same game parlay, or I'm going to be doing a parlay. I'm going to put a couple of those out, and we're going to put that on Twitter. So I need some traction on Twitter. So I need you guys to go over there, follow us at advisors_team, and make sure you like and retweet. They're completely free picks. They're going to be on our Twitter throughout the weekend. So make sure you follow us over there as well if you have not already. So that's what I've got in this video. Hopefully you guys have success in week 7. Let me know some of the plays or stacks that you like that we didn't talk about down below. Leave a comment. Go back and listen for that keyword to have a chance to win. And make sure you like the video so it can go up and we can have giveaways for you. I would love to give a month away. All we got to do is get to 100 likes. So that's what I've got today. Good luck. And as always, bring home some bacon. Peace.